Hi guys, I got another unboxing to do, a really quick one. I don't think this necessarily warrants a whole unboxing video, but I know it's really kind of a commentary slash review. We all know, as gamers go, is most of us are familiar with Fluxx, the game of ever-changing rules. And I was first introduced to Fluxx many years ago. Well, I don't know if it's many for me, maybe over 4 or 5 years ago, when my brother and his wife, right now we're still dating, he introduced me and my wife at the time to the age of modern board gaming, where we played Guillotine. Fluxx was one of the new ones at the time. I looked into games like Killer Bunnies and we had Quiddler and numerous different trick-taking games like Magicians and variations on the standard 52 card deck, poker deck. So that was our time when board gaming was still kind of new. I guess we had heard of Euros because Catan was one of them that we discovered and where we learned about, and also Carcassonne. Anyway, so Fluxx is the game of ever-changing rules, like I mentioned. It's had a lot of different themes over the years. Zombie Fluxx, one of the favorites. I have a friend actually that has 3 different Fluxxes, I think, but only 2 really made it onto the table regularly. I think he had the original Fluxx, and then later on he got I don't remember which one came out first, but he ended up with the Space Fluxx. I forget. It's not called Space Fluxx. It's called something else. I can't remember. And then he also got Pirate Fluxx. And Pirate Fluxx made it to the board a little bit more frequently because people like to talk like a pirate whenever that certain card came up. Anyways, I vowed, after I gave away my deck of Fluxx to my brother, because there was a time that I didn't think I was going to really get into board gaming. And then when I started joining meetup groups and playing games, I saw that everyone and their sister had Fluxx, and a lot of people brought it, and no one wanted to play it because they wanted to play the new hotness that was out at the time. So I always thought, well, I'll never get another copy of Fluxx. I don't remember, or I don't care what version it is, what theme it is. Someone's going to get the new one. And then recently, a friend of mine, person who owns the group that I host for game nights on Meetup, they opened up shop, and I started going and playing with a new group of folks. And sure enough, there's some new person in there who wants to learn Fluxx, and it's always exciting to be able to introduce a new game. But like I said, a lot of people don't bring Fluxx anymore because it's kind of a tired and heavier gamers. I wouldn't consider myself a heavy gamer, but I do enjoy the complex games. More so to just sort of read through and figure out. But because I'm neither an epic gamer or a light gamer, I'm just somewhere in the middle, I tend to play whatever everyone's flocking to. So, anyways, I didn't think I'd get another Fluxx game, but I ended up getting Batman Fluxx because supposedly it had new mechanics in it. I finally got it. Here, I'll show it to you. I actually shuffled the cards. I probably shouldn't have done that before making this video. But it has the rule book, and it's actually not glossy paper, which actually I appreciate. I don't know, it's probably more eco-friendly, I guess, because it's better to recycle. And I don't know, I don't like seeing. I mean, it looks almost like it's lesser quality because it's not glossy, but I like it better because it's not all shiny and stuff, and it's just better to look at. I think there's no glare on it. So you have, and so what I like most about this is, with all the other Fluxx themes that I've seen, anyways, the text, the borders, and all that stuff didn't really change like with the pirate Fluxx, they didn't have like special pirate text or anything like that. The dialogue was different. But so you have this new basic rules card, which, I mean, it tells you the basic rules. From what I recall, it's different. It's a little different, not that much, but it's a little bit more clear. It's got some pictures on it, so you know which one to do. Draw one, play one, and it's got little icons or pictures you can refer to. And it's got, of course, the different back, which I think is standard. So you can separate it. That's the first basic rules that you're going to have. And then, now I was listening to a podcast years ago. Well, I keep saying years ago. Maybe a couple years ago when the game had just been announced and they hadn't gotten all the rules worked out yet. And the person who was on the interview, I don't know if it was the game designer, the publisher, or what, but they implied that there would be no more creepers, that they were doing away with that and trying to figure something out. And that also there would be some conditions, like there would be heroes and villains. There would be a bunch of Batman and his friends and the Joker and his cohorts or other villains. And where one side couldn't win, like, for example, Batman and friends could not win the game unless all the villains were removed or not present on the table. And there was nothing in the rules that mentioned that. And, of course, not recalling exactly how Fluxx works, because I haven't had a copy in so long and I actually haven't played any in at least a year or so. Of course, the rules change, right? And check it out. They have... I'm sorry I don't have another Fluxx game to compare with, but those of you who know, you can always see the back is the same, so you can mix it with other Fluxx games. But the borders, like the rules, it's not only is it a yellow border, but they have like a kind of a Batman-y theme. They even have a bat symbol in there. To me, it reminds me of like a movie marquee or something. But you got a bat symbol in there, which, you know, they've incorporated the Batman theme all throughout it. So it's kind of nice to not just know that it's there, but to actually see it repeated. And the pictures have been updated. Different. See, they have draw 4, draw 5, and it's just the yellow borders are the same, similar. You know, I mean, they're all pretty much the same, just with different colors. But I think because, I mean, it separates itself from all the other ones, most definitely. So yeah, so yellow cards are still rule changers. You got those. Okay, and then they have keepers. Okay, they're green. They're still green, but they keep in theme with this particular set, with the bat symbol and the way the borders look. Let's see a few more keepers. Not in that set. There. So, as you know, the keepers are the things that qualify. They're things that you keep in front of you to qualify for the different goals. So, like this one, this keeper is the Bat Cave. Again, with the little bat symbol in the border. Ends their rules, so other players cannot play surprises during your turn. So they're like those instants or those cards that you play out of turn. You know, like those aha cards. Like, oh, you can't play that because I got this card. Then someone plays a surprise, but I guess the Batcave nullifies that effect. So when that's in play, no surprises. And when I see one, I'll show it to you. So there's another keeper. The Batarang. You got Alfred as a keeper. What else? Wayne Manor. So, you know, some familiar characters. Here's a surprise. That's mine. So, when another player plays a keeper, it goes in front of you instead of them, possibly preventing their victory. Or, you can steal another player's keeper and put it in front of you. So, that's mine, and it can cancel surprises. And I forget what the other summer cards are named in the other Fluxes, but I believe surprise is a terminology reserved for this particular flavor of Fluxx. Then you have like actions where you can like mix up all. This is like that one where you pick up all the keepers. Whoever has keepers out, you pick them all up, shuffle them, and then evenly distribute them. Here's an interesting one. So, of course, you can probably guess that the creepers in this game are the villains. And I just, like, Bane is a creeper. And here's a goal that requires the Riddler, who is another creeper, plus Batman. So you got mixed. So you can't actually win the game with creepers, since the Riddler obviously is a creeper. Where in past games you could not. Creepers were just pretty much annoyances or nuisances that kept you from winning the game or kept the game from ending. So in this case, you can actually get a combination of creepers, which are the villains. And I think they're more than villains. I'll have to see. I believe they're more than villains. But you can win with creepers. There's Mr. Freeze. He's a creeper. You got another goal, utility belt. Batarang with Batman cuffs. Right? So there's always good stuff. Good and different ways to implement cards that we're familiar with the other Fluxes. And they've really twisted it up a bit. Bruce Wayne. Here's to the Batcave, so you can have Batman or Robin. So now Robin is much more important than, some whiny little kid that a lot of people refer up to. Yeah. So I'm now excited again to play Fluxx. It's new flavor, new version. It's more of the same, but then still they've twisted the rules up a little bit more, and now you can win with creepers in your hand. So, oh yeah, there. See, so no one can win if you have this unless the goal requires a villain. So you cannot win if the villains are out unless you have the particular goal that requires it. So, yeah, I think it's nothing mind-blowing, but here's a good one. Rogues Gallery, win with any four villains. Nothing mind-blowing, but it's refreshing enough that veteran Fluxx players who are like comic book fans, and this is like I don't know what series. This is like on the cartoon, or it's not based on the comic. I remember it on the cartoon. They look like Teen Titans, or not Teen Titans. I forget which series it is, but it's the same art style as the original Teen Titans cartoon. So, yeah, it's not the Marvel, or I'm sorry, oops, it's not the DC, classic DC comic style that a lot of us older folks, like, I'm 41 almost, just to keep in perspective. It's not the style I'm used to seeing, like, in the comic books. I actually, if it's based on the comic book, maybe someone can mention it, but I know it from a cartoon. So, that I used to see, like, used to be an after-school cartoon that I used to see. Yeah, Batgirl. So, go on out to your friendly local game store and pick it up. By now, I'm an adult and been working a pretty decent job, so it's under $20 for a licensed property, and for me, it was an impulse buy. Like I said, there's someone new to our group, or gaming group, that wants to learn Fluxx, wants to learn all the games that people talk about, and even though Fluxx, the group that I play with, we're experienced enough, we're veterans of gaming enough that sometimes we roll our eyes at when someone says, "Oh, let's play Fluxx," they bring it. But it's a refreshing new theme, and it'll incite some curiosity, and it'll be good for at least a couple plays. I mean, I've got games that I've paid way more than $20 for that haven't even seen the table. That's part of my wall of shame, so to speak. I have Spectre Ops. Some of you guys may have heard of it. Really hot game of 2015. I picked it up, but because I have so many other games that actually interest me a little bit more, I picked it up because I wanted to have something fresh and new to play with my friends. But they're always buying junk too, so I've actually pulled it out and brought it to some gaming nights, but never got to it. So this one will at least make it and at least get played a little bit, because even if people get tired of playing it right away, it's not that big of a loss, and I can always pull it out for, it's the end of the night and I need a new filler. Usually I pull out Bang the Dice game, but Fluxx is even handier because it's just cards. There's no dice or tokens to keep track of, and even though Bang the Dice game is a quick 5-minute explanation and 5 to 15 minutes of fun, Fluxx, draw a card, play a card, and then follow the any rules that change with a few there are a few things when certain goals come up. People might have questions, but it's basically draw one, play one, and that's it. That's the easiest game to play, and it's just one of the easiest games to play, and it's just cards. So the only drawback is if you don't know how to read, then you're not gonna be able to play it very well. That's it. So I hope you like this. Hope this commentary was informative for you guys. And for an impulse buy, I would recommend it. The theme is great. You can talk about it at least with other comic nerds, or Batman nerds, I guess, and Fluxx nerds. And it would be great to add to your collection. It doesn't cost a whole lot, and I think, if anything, someone will want to play it. Maybe not you so much, or some of your gaming group, but you can bring it to a new gaming group, and people who have never played it, or people who like party games at least. You can. This says it plays 2 to 6 people. You can probably squeeze in a couple more people. I wouldn't recommend it though. I mean, as we all know, the more people who play Fluxx, the longer the game possibly could be. And I've sat in many a Fluxx game wishing it had ended half an hour ago, that have gone on for more than 2 hours with a full complement of 6 people. So, yeah, Fluxx, I would say 4 people max for a quick game. But it's nice to have handy for end of the night, not quite done playing, but the store's going to close soon type of game. Thanks for watching.